Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. I'm down here in the vineyard getting ready to prune. There is just a ton to prune. So this is probably going to take several days, but maybe I can get it done today. We'll see. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there's at least two guys in the woods right over there chainsawing, and I really have no idea what they're doing. It's not our land and it's not our neighbor's land, but when I take Izzy for a walk, when I'm going down towards the end there, it's the land on the left there. But I believe that that land is in a conservationship, which means they can't log it or anything. So it'd be interesting to see what's going on there. When they're done, I'm going to go take a look at that as well. But for now, what I'm going to do is, for the most part, I just use my pruning shears, but I have two different size loppers and my oscillating tool in the gator and a few other things. I have my belt, which I should have put on, and I have some tags. When I run into stuff, I thought I just saw something. Like if there's an arm that's loose and hanging down, I'm not going to fix that right now. I'm just going to flag it and then come back and do all that stuff on the next pass. I do want to brush these a bit. I call it exfoliating, and what that does is gets rid of some of this stuff. I just use a brass brush and knock off some of the heavier flaky bark like this. The next step on these is to spray them with dormant oil, and what the dormant oil does is gets into all the cracks and stuff and smothers pests. And the less of this stuff you have on there, the easier it's going to work. I don't know of anybody else that does that, but it's just something I do. Okay, yeah, it's pretty noisy with the saws going, and I don't know how long they're going to be cutting, so we will get this. Oh, that was a tree that they cut down. I thought they might be cutting like firewood on the forest floor, but that sounded like a tree cracking. Oh, great. All right, let's get at this. that is one row done. I'm not really going to get into how to prune. I'm going to do that in another video. I'm going to do that on some of the vines back in there. Most of the vines up on this front row right here, most of them have some kind of damage. Wherever I put blue tape, that's where I'm replacing arm, a cordon. This will replace this cordon right here. And actually this is going to have to, I believe, I don't know, I'll either replace this cordon with this here. What does this have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this has a full amount of spurs on it. When they start getting like 3 spurs on it, that's definitely time to replace it. I don't know what a commercial vineyard does, but that's probably about the limit for me. This one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's what they should have. Roughly every 6 inches it should have a spur, and what I'm doing, I want to end up with 2 to 3 buds on each spur, and that will give me a full crop. See this one, this is a dead spur right here. It was aiming up, and I'm sure I cut it off a bunch of times. I don't want anything aiming up, so we have one here, and this looks like a kind of a replacement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has the right amount, but this is not correct. I should replace this one, let a new cordon grow from here and come out to here. A lot of these are, well, actually all of them are a bit older, and they don't have anything new coming out of the stem, and that can be a problem if you need to train up a new trunk, but we'll get into that in another video. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm sure a lot of the ones in this row were really fruitful. They had a ton of fruit on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 going upwards that were finally killed off, but you know, half of these could probably use replacement, but that doesn't mean they're going to get replaced. So it's a lot of work. I got to get in there, and like this has way too much. This might have the 2 buds I need. Well, it'll absolutely, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. This should come off right here. Oh, I know what I did. These might tend to go downwards better. So when the shoots come out, if those go downwards, I'll cut these off. And I believe I said that last year, and I never got in here and did it on some. And it just makes a mess if you don't get in there and actually do it. This one looks really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, it's got a big space right here, but other than that, it has everything going downwards, and it has everything it needs. Like, yeah, this is a big space here as well. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was trained from last year. I had these little pink tags on it. When I'm training a new cordon like this, if I'm doing it at the same time that there's an old cordon on there, you know, just running it right alongside of it, when I'm pruning in the middle of the summer and I see anything going along the top wire, I can get real shear happy and just cut it off, because it'll send suckers. Sometimes it'll send them 20 feet along the top wire, and then those will send shoots straight up, and it makes just a mess, and it's hard to find where it's coming from. Like one of the shoots that comes down to say here will send a branch sideways, and it'll go up to the wire and just keep going down the wire, you know, for a really long way. So when I'm pruning, I'll cut them off, and I've already cut off my replacement cordons in the past, so it helps to have them marked. Yeah, this right here, this is marked. This is a brand new cordon. The reason this is marked is one of the buds down here is going to replace this cordon. I believe this is dead, this is dead. These two are alive. Yeah, everything else is dead. This is dead, this is dead. So this just has these two out here. And what these are going to do, they're going to force all kinds of shoots. And if I don't get in here and cut some of that stuff off, it's just going to be a mess. I don't know if you could see, the time lapse was pretty fast, so you probably couldn't see it. But there was a couple like that right in this area where it only had the last two spurs that were alive, and they just create, it looks like an octopus, and then that stuff just goes everywhere. So this, during the year, I'm going to train one up and along that, and hopefully I will have the blue tape with me, and I'll mark it with blue tape so I don't hack it off later. Yeah, lots of replacement going on in this row. Not a whole lot's going to happen in the rest of the vineyard, like this stuff. This fell down, so I got to get that hooked back up, but that's no big deal. Yeah, and that has 4 or 5 on it. This one was a replacement. Yeah, this was a ton of work in here, and I have this marked because this is the replacement for this one. This one has, oh, this one isn't that bad, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's getting replaced anyways. This one has a really nice arm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a little spur here. But this other side died 2 years ago, and this is one of those that I cut off. It was running along the wire, and I just, got snip happy and cut it off. So it'll get a bud, it'll send a shoot out, and oh, that's right, I cut it off, and then it sent a bud out, and I kept trying to tie it to the wire last year, and it kept snapping off. The wind would move the wire, and this wouldn't move with it, and it kept snapping off right there. This one I thought was completely dead, but it came back kind of midsummer, and it was just a mess. It was like laying over, so I just kept tying it. I tied it up here, and I tied it onto this line post, and I started training up a new trunk way down here. So this year I'll take 2 buds near the top and do each one a different way. This should probably be right about there. We need 3 feet on each side. Again, we have a new cordon, and this old one, that's why this has the tag on. This right here is going to become a new cordon for this. Something happened to, I don't know, it's probably 5 of these in a row right here. There used to be a couple walnut trees right in this area, and I believe the roots are still under the ground here. They got really sick, and they almost died, and then these get kind of battered by the wind, so few of them really looked like they were going to die, but none of them actually died. Well, this one died back to the ground, and I'm training it back up now. Another one. No need for a flag because this was replaced 2 years ago, and this was replaced last year. You could tell everything is cut off so that it only has 1 node. Now those are going to become the spurs. This one already has spurs because it's a year older, but they are really jacked up the way they're aiming. We'll see if we can get this one looking better with some decent pruning this year. And again, this one died back to the ground. This trunk is dead here, and this stem is alive. So now I will train it up to here. I'll have to put an extension on here. I took them all off, but I have extensions for these that'll take it up a little higher than the wire, and then I'll curl it onto the wire. That will only be one direction, and then I'll get another trunk from down here and train that up as well. This will have to be cut back to right in here somewhere, but I'll get some extra fruit out of it until this one's ready. And then finally we have the one growing on the end post. I'm going to need to mark this. This has 1, 2, and then an octopus at the end. And I'll get a bunch of grapes out of this, but this cordon right here needs to be replaced. And I'll use this right here, train it up and over. So I should actually just cut this off and cut it off right here and then train it up right away. Otherwise it's going to be a total mess with this monster over here. And on this side we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That side is fine. All right, the first row took about 4 hours. I'm hoping this row doesn't take that long. I'm hoping this row takes 3 hours, but 3 or 4, I got to get this done today. And then the other 3 I have to get done tomorrow. Then it's going to start raining, and as soon as the rain's done, I got to get in here and spray these. So no matter what, I have to get this row done tonight, and it'll likely be pushing darkness by the time I get it done. So I better get moving. Okay, that's about it for me today. It's been 7 hours since I started pruning, and I got a little over 1.5 rows done. I think it's because I'm getting real fussy about how I prune. Last year I just went through and did a real fast job, and when you do that, it gets to be a mess a little bit later in the year, so I've been taking my time. But still, I got to get this done. Well, I don't have to. They're not going to bud out for probably another month now, but we have 2 more days of nicer weather. But tomorrow is pretty nice. The next day is very windy, but maybe it won't be windy down here. Sometimes this area is sheltered, but I really want to get this done in the next 3 days. Then we have 4 days of rain, and then I want to get in here and spray it right after that. So I guess we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. It's not going to rain tonight, so I can leave my wheelbarrow right there. And tomorrow I'm going to do a video on the structure of a grapevine, a high cordon grapevine. High cordon cold weather grapevine, there's a bit of a difference between warm weather and cold weather vines. Part of it is the 2 trunks like that, but I'll explain that all in another video. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.